week I like to start talking about what is it all for? I mean, like our whole life, what did we live for? What's the value of our life measured up to? If you look at, let's start with like looking at my forefather. Let's go back in my forefathers. I can remember up to my grandpa. I can't remember past that point. I don't know past that point really. Well, actually I do know my great-grandfather, you know, up to my great-grandfather. Just hearing who he is, that's it. Who he is, and how many wives he has, how many kids he has. I think he had a lot of wives. He was a Chinese who came to immigrate to Vietnam and had a lot of wives. He was rich and had a lot of kids. But beyond that, I don't know anything. He was a rich, you know, like a village leader, I guess. So that's how you would put it. But I don't know much about anything else past that. I don't know anything else past that. My great-great-great-grandfathers and all that. Okay. So beyond that point, to me, it's all vanity because I don't even know them. I don't know anything about them. Who they marry, where they live, what they do. You know? So then I would have to ask, if we look back past all that, and look at all the generation before that, everyone had a single life, pretty much. Everyone. Because no one is going to remember us. Excuse me. No one going to know us, want to know us, or care about us, even if we do something great. Unless you're like a historical figure, you know, someone like Abraham Lincoln, someone like George Washington, someone who do something in history that's remembered forever. Then you remember, but then yet it's just a memory. It's still just a memory. Still historical, just a memory in history, a historical record. You know, even as great as Abraham Lincoln, he did something great for America and our country. United States is very great. I'm not talking bad about that. Still, for he himself, what was his life for, other than doing something great for the country? I mean, like, it did something, and we all probably did something great for our country, but he was remembered for his greatness, you know. But yet, what good is all that? Yeah, we have a great country. Yes, wonderful. Still, what good is all that for him? Other than a memory. So as great as anyone will ever be, it's just a memory. So even as all those things that he did, it was great, he just left a memory for himself. That's it. But what memory is good for? You die. You're gonna die. Every one of us gonna die. Some people are gonna say, yeah, it's all right, we're all gonna die. I'm like, yeah, but why was it for? How was it for? What was it for? For that memory. Yeah, but for himself, what was it for? Why did he live? Why did he live? Other than do those great things. Okay, aside from those things, what was it for? What was life for him? Other than the memory that he created. We're gonna create memory, and we're gonna die, and we're wondering. Okay, let's say right now we're wondering what's going on the other side when we go on to the other side. For me, I have a curiosity. I'm wondering what is on the other side. I'm sure many people wondering too. They don't want to go head into the unknown. It's like jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. You know? I know what's going on. I know what's on the other side. I know what's the promises. What was done. What was designed on this side and on that side. I know. Okay? This is why I'm getting there. But the point is, I want you to be curious, because if you're not curious, you don't know. You're gonna jump out of an airplane without a parachute. This is where I'm getting to, for you, for all those you. Okay? I want you to be prepared. This is the point I'm trying to get at. Okay? You can still do great things and have great memories in here. It's what I'm saying. But aside from all that, you need to know what's on the other side. There's a plan for the other side. What is that plan, and who made that plan? There was a plan for this side. Who made that plan? Okay? Now, I'm gonna tell you, there's a God. Okay? People are gonna ask me, which, a God or gods, or just one God, or many gods, and who is it? Okay, let me get to that point. Who is it? Okay, if you're talking many gods, okay, in Hinduism, there's many gods, like I think millions of gods. Okay, but none of them are proven with historical records, with proven miracles, with proven supernatural power, with proven archaeological and scientific evidence. Okay, they don't have it. All they have is superstition. That's it. Just like they have a new god called our President Trump, because one Hindu guy was trying to get to America. I believe he made him into a god. He worshipped him for 3 years, and then there were people in his neighborhood started to practice the same thing, because they thinking that the same line of work, in the same line what he was thinking. They wanted to come to America, I believe. That's the intention. But they start worshiping him like a god, so that this way he'll take notice, and then he'll help him bring them to America or something. I think that was the intention. So I'm not sure, but why would you do it? You know what I mean? It could be because they want to worship him as a god, but what's for? What's it for? Unless it's for, there's an agenda behind it. Okay? So that's how Indian people come up with, their god. Superstition and belief, and they bend on their lies, and then they'll turn it into a religion to worship. And that's how they came up with millions of gods. Okay, so now, what about Buddha? Well, Buddha don't believe in God. Okay, a Buddha practice does not believe in God, and yet they believe in nirvana, which is like a form of heaven. Okay, and they believe that when they die, they'll reincarnate, like it's a practice where their good work, good deeds, that's gonna bring them to nirvana one day. Become a Buddha. What is a Buddha? To become a Buddha and go to nirvana, they're pretty much practicing to become a god. That's what they're saying. But they don't believe in God. So there's a contradiction right there. You don't believe in God, but you're trying to get to become a god yourself. That's what everybody's trying to become a Buddha. Through practice of less karma, less sinful, I guess, or karma, I think. Less and less every life, and then one day get to nirvana. So they don't answer any questions like, is it heaven? Nirvana is heaven? No. But yet that's what they're trying to get to. So they're kind of fooling themselves. You know? They're fooling themselves and others. We're trying to get to nirvana. Nirvana is heaven. It's their place. Why else do we want to go there? Why? What's the point? What's the purpose? Okay, so they can dance around it, but they're still trying to get to nirvana. Nirvana is their heaven. And they're trying to become a Buddha. A Buddha, what is a Buddha? What is a Buddha? Why you want to try to become a Buddha? What's the point? Where's the Buddha? Where is he at? He's in nirvana. That's where you're going to get to. And then there was a lot of, in their belief that the Buddha has a lot of supernatural power. Hey, you can watch a lot of their videos and movies and stuff like that. And they believe. And you know, like there was one specifically that when we were on our way to Philippines, when we first went to the Philippines, from Vietnam to Philippines to leave Vietnam and coming to America, and we were in the Philippines for 6 months, and there were a lot of talks about, you know, the Buddha practice, and there were a ship that trying to escape Vietnam, and on the way out of in the middle of the ocean, and there was a big ocean wave and everything, and you know, the boat was in trouble, and this dragon coming out of the ocean, and this Buddha lady was riding this dragon, and it was huge. It was on a drawing. It was on a drawing. And it rides out of the ocean, saving the ship. See, there's a lot of supernatural power that they were talking about. Saving the ship. Talking about this dragon, supernatural power coming out of the ocean, riding on it. She was riding on what? This dragon gotta be like, you know, huge, and then she was flying, riding out the ocean, saving this boat. So a lot of superstitions and lies about that, mystical lie about that. You know, they go, "Oh, why do you think we lie?" Prove it. Prove it. Prove that is fact. Okay. So this caused a lot of mystical belief, and their followers believe it, you know, and they believe that when they sick, they prayed this prayer, you know, over and over and over, repeat it, and that's what Buddhism, they repeat prayer, and the prayer will heal them, cancer, things like that, you know, disease, anything that they have encountered in sickness, and they pray for it. That's believe in superstition. I mean, there's supernatural power right there. They're believing all that. They're believing on the supernatural. They're believing a very, like a god. Like Buddha is a god, and that's why they worship him. Yeah, but yet they don't believe in God. That's how ridiculous they are. Okay, and none of it can be proven. Okay. And then there's the Islam, Allah. Okay, there was a prophet who, you know, came up with the Quran. He wrote the Quran. You know, he said he saw an angel from God. You know, and this prophet, you know, was illiterate, can't read, can't write, can't understand anything, but able to write the Quran down perfectly, recite it back to them and write it down perfectly by his followers. Okay, and they all, well, in the beginning they all remember it. They all learned to remember it. And they all write it down. So some remember 115 chapters, and some remember 120 chapters, and some are more right and some are less right, and they recopy after that, you know. But they said they have one perfect Quran, but yet they have like more than 30 or more than, I don't know how many. There was a lot. more than one Quran. They lie about it. They used to lie about it. They got caught. Now they stopped lying about that. And they say that they love Jesus, who is in the Bible, who is my Christian God, who is my God, I believe. And I have proof, historical, scientific, archaeological, physical evidence, and supernatural evidence. Okay, and I'll have it for you. And I already mentioned this in every video, so okay. And even today, as you, Jesus, when he was our God, when he left, he went back to heaven. He gave us authority in his name that we can exercise on in his name, and we can kick out sickness and disease out of our body. You know, we can tell them to leave with our authority, and they'll leave. Okay, but you have to have good faith, perfect faith, and you have to be a true follower of Jesus Christ. Okay, because if you don't, then your practice is, you know, his authority doesn't work very well. Okay, it's like you have a criminal that's trying to operate in with the authority of as a policeman. That doesn't fly. Okay, but if you have, you know, if you were a good policeman, perfect policeman, then yeah, you can operate in the authority that works, you know, with Christian very well. Okay, but back to Allah in Islam. Okay, this Muhammad prophet wrote in the Quran, said you can only have 4 wives, a Muslim. Guess how many wives he had? 11 plus wife. Okay? He had 23 concubines. We challenged the Muslim. Why does he? Is he not a Muslim? No, he's special. He's perfect. So Allah gave him privileges. Okay, so that's excuses again. Okay. And then one of his wife, 6 years old. He slept with her at 9 years old. Okay, he slept with her at 9 years old to consolidate. No, what is that? To make his marriage, you know, official. We asked a Muslim about that. Oh, you know, she was not 9. You know, all kinds of excuses. It's not 9. She was something else. Wait a minute, your Quran, okay? all your Quran, all your writing, all that. They say it many times. 9. They repeat it 9 in the Quran. Okay. Okay. Why is and then they'll respond. They'll look at other two. Why marry at 12 year old? No, not 12. At you know, like at young, real young, like her, like Isha, which is Muhammad's wife, the 6-year-old. Why is Mary so young too? No, she was not young. They look at the Bible. Bible doesn't say how old she is. Okay, when Mary married Joseph, and then had Jesus, but Jesus was a virgin birth. Jesus is not the seed of Joseph. Virgin birth, which is the Holy Spirit who came down and, you know, brought, you know, and made the Jesus, you know, put Jesus in the baby, and then, you know, as a virgin birth. And this is our Christian faith, and we have proof of that. So that they come up with an excuse and say, you know, Mary was young too. No, Mary was not young. Mary in the Jewish tradition at that time was around 16 or 18. That's their tradition, to be married, not 12 or even younger than that. No. Okay, their tradition is around that time. And she was pregnant with Jesus through the Holy Spirit. Okay, the Spirit of God came down. So then also Muhammad who is supposed to be perfect, but a murderer. Okay, he was slaughtering, countless life because of how many countless war he get into. And he ordered a Muslim has to take over everywhere they go, take over, and make them turn into a Muslim, or to turn everybody into a Muslim. But if they don't, they have to pay the jizya, which is tax. If they don't pay, then they die. Okay, so that's their practice. But also, there's so much more that's so bad, so bad. Like Muhammad, he would not have taking a shower all day, and he would sleep with all 30 of his women in one day. And they talk about that in the Quran. He don't wash. He go from one wife to another, all 30 of them. And they were praising him. Wow, this guy's a man. He's powerful. He's strong. He's this. He's so, he's able to do that. That's their prophet. Okay. And many more. So, but then they'll take the Bible and the Torah, and they'll twist the Bible and the Torah to make the Quran come true. While they accuse the Bible and the Torah was like a fraud, like they rewrite, and it was incorrect, and they lie, and they make they made it not true. So they accuse the Bible is lying and the Torah is lying, but while they say that their Quran is perfect. At the same time, they say that if we don't believe in the old, they tell the Muslim, if they don't believe in the Quran or the Bible, that's true, then they're not a Muslim. They have to believe it. Okay? But at the same time, they're telling their follower that these Bible and the Torah are corrupted. So by mouth, they're telling that. But in the Quran, they say that they have to follow it. They have to obey it because because it's true. But outside, when they're arguing or they're debating that their Quran is true, they accuse the Bible and the Torah is corrupted. This is the Muslim faith. Okay. Here's the problem. If the Bible and the Torah are corrupted, then the Quran is corrupted. If the Bible and the Torah is true, then the Quran is false. Why? Because it's contradicted, both of them. What about the Bible and the Torah? They don't contradict. They're consistent. Okay? It's just that the Bible has a New Testament in addition to the Torah, which is Jesus Christ, which is the prophecy of the Torah prophesied that Jesus Christ is coming and do what he does on the cross. Okay? And we have that today. We have all those proofs. Jesus died on the cross. He lived a supernatural life, and he raised the people from the dead. He healed people sick. He raised people that's crippled. He give people eyesight, deaf ear open. He feed 5,000 people with bread and fish from just a few loaves of bread and few loaves of fishes. He did all that. Then on top of that, his plan was to come and to die for man's sin. All our sin. We are all sinful. We live a life that's sinful. Okay, so why is that? Think about this. You live a whole life. All you do is for yourself. People say, no, I take care of a lot of people. Yeah, still, that is for yourself because you don't know God. You don't know God. The whole life you live You refuse to know God. So all that you're doing for yourself. You're not doing because of God. At the same time, okay, God never stopped making the sun shine for you. He never stopped making the oxygen for you to breathe. He never stopped the food from growing or the water from becoming available for you, rain over you, for your crop and for your usage. You know, He never stopped provide His provision on your daily needs. He never stopped. None of those things never stopped. He did it for you your whole life, even though you don't know Him and you refuse to know Him. Okay? And this is how you would know that He's there for you. Try to bake a pizza from nothing. Then you know that you don't need God. If you can bake a pizza from nothing, no ingredient, nothing, bake a pizza. Or even a cookie, bake a cookie. Okay? Do anything from nothing. Then I know that you don't need God. But otherwise, you need Him. You're gonna bake a cookie or pizza or cook a ramen noodle or whatever you do, you need Him. Because He provides the provision for you every day for your needs. And yet you don't know Him. And then when you die, okay, you're gonna have to face that. You have to face Him on that notion. Okay, the idea that you're gonna live without Him, you don't need Him. On the other side, you're gonna have to live with that. He's not gonna give you nothing on the other side. He's gonna reject you, just like you reject Him on this side. Okay, so that's the point I'm trying to get at. Okay, all our forefathers had lived that way. Some may know had known Him and had gone to heaven. Okay, but the path to righteousness are narrow, but the path to destruction are wide open. So many people had gone there. Many. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, what about your loved one? What about all your, your family member? They all go there." You talk like that? Like, oh, it's just the truth. It's just a fact. I don't know where they go. Okay, I'm not gonna, sit here and make up something that I don't know. I'm telling you, if they don't know, they gone to some place that does have anything to do with God, which is only one other place that He created, hell. I know it's hurt a lot of people to say that, and a lot of people don't like it. Well, guess what? That's what the Bible said, and that's what's going to happen, whether you like it or not. Where's the proof, you ask? Look at the Shroud of Turin. Okay? Look at the Shroud of Turin, and make sure you look at the real data. Don't look at the lies, because there's so many lies about it. That's the most scientific look. Examine artifacts on the planet. The most specialists in their field that look at it, and they did peer review 30 of them or more about it. Okay, so it's a very true fact that Jesus Christ exists. He died on the cross, He was resurrected, and it was shown in the inside the Shroud of Turin. He was there for 3 days inside that shroud, inside that cloth, that linen cloth, and then His body was elevated, and then He was gone. Boom! With a flash of light, He left the evidence for us 2,000 years ago. It's a 3D photo negative on top of. It's like a thin layer, micron, 2 micron, which is 25 times thinner than your hair, on top of that cloth for 2,000 years. And now science catch up to Him and showing that it was a 3D photo negative of Jesus Christ laying in that Shroud of Turin for 3 days. All the whipping and all the torture that He took for us, for our sin, it's in there. Go look at it. Okay, so that is your evidence. I'm giving it to you. And then examine what's on the other side in the Bible. God bless you. I love you. Look for the next video. I pray that you receive all this. And if you don't, I wish you good luck on the other side. God bless you.